Or I'll just be sitting around and I'll think to myself, I'm so glad I'm not on Twitter to see any of this stuff play out. Studio version of In Your Atmosphere, please. Let me tell you what would happen if I made a studio version of In Your Atmosphere. I would think that I was doing something that you liked, and I would put it out, and message boards, and everybody would say, I like the live version better. I know you, I love you, but I know you enough to predict what you will say if I do certain things. If I made a studio version of In Your Atmosphere, you guys would all say the live acoustic version was better. So I'm just not doing it. So Twitter Twitter's just a little app. Twitter's just happening on an app. And as soon as you realize that it's just happening on an app, then you can just go on with your life. Like, that's what they're saying in that app. Twitter's an app. So just look at it like this. There's this one app that when you open it, it's got a lot of psychological warfare in it that could ruin your day. But if you don't open it, you won't be dumber. You won't have less, understanding of the world. And you'll just walk around happy. So it's like electively going into a room where people beat the shit out of you. Or you just don't go into the room. So I've chosen just don't go in the room. Some people are like, oh, but I just do. I go, figure that part out. You'll be all right. Figure the part out that makes you want to keep walking into a room where people beat the shit out of you. Another kind of green studio. Now that's actually a more interesting idea. And I do like that song. I like that song. And you guys have kept it alive in some ways. And I do like that song. I love that guitar riff. That's a really good guitar riff as far as I'm concerned. I don't know that I made the best song out of it. I did pop, blues, folk, the dead. What genre do you want to experiment with next? I don't know. I'm kind of doing it now, but none of it's like major enough to start dropping a bunch of little teasy hype things to say. But I'm in an exciting new territory, which is cool. Like, I have a whole new palette of colors to work with. I'm very excited. Daniel Caesar, dig the guy. I like when people just ask me pitch me a pronoun, proper noun, not pronoun. Pitch me a proper noun, and I'll say nice things about it. Pitch me a proper noun. I'll also say nice things about pronouns too. What is my new style? Oh, I don't know. I'll let you guys name it. I've not played any of the Fender Parallel Universe guitars. I've not recorded at Sound City. I'm excited for the summer tour, too. I'm very excited for it. I'll just sit around and be like, ooh, we get to go do that. What is going on? Anybody want to talk? How do I get... I thought I could find the requests here. Oh, I just flipped it. See? That's how I roll. Oh, I see. I can just type that. Anybody? Anybody? It is a nice chair. Thank you very much. Favorite song changes all the time. I really like Nice for What right now. Like, I don't know what it is about it. I really like Drake, Nice for What. I really like it. And I like Weekend, a song called Privilege. And I like, what else do I like that's out right now? I like a lot of stuff. It's a really good time for music. It's a freaking good time for music. Yeah, the white, I guess it's a carbon fiber type deal. For, you can throw it on an airplane. You can check it. What is pluck and chuck? Someone said, how'd you learn to pluck and chuck? What is pluck and chuck? And someone else said, you can play slice? What are you talking about? Does your shift from alcohol to weed as your preferred drug correlate to your overall progression as a person? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I am myself all the time. And I don't have downtime. I don't have entire days where I can't get out of bed. Like, I go till I go to sleep, and then I wake up, and it's like flipping a switch, and I'm on, and I'm me. And it's great. It's pluck and chuck. Will someone explain to me? Okay, these questions are killing me. Would you ever collaborate with a fan? Let's just think about for a minute, like, the desirability of me collaborating with just a fan. Like, it'd be like John Mayer featuring Nicole from Charlotte, North Carolina. I guess what you mean is like a fan who played music? And then I would, if we got together on a musical level, and they were also like, by the way, I'm a fan. But like, surprise, we're collabing. I hear you're a fan. If I had a TV show, I would totally film that. Me collaborating in the studio with a fan. Like, someone just being like, I'm a really big fan of yours. I'm like, oh yeah? How big? They're like, really, really big. I'm like, I have an idea. Come with me. And then, like, get in the car with me, because I think anybody would get, I think I've like good credit for like someone getting in a car with me. And we just walk into the studio and just cut a record together. And it would be like me singing, and it'd be like, da 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 da, and then I'd pass it over to Nicole, and Nicole would be like, what do I do? And then it'd be like, back to me, and I'd be singing, and then like we would just put that out. Chicken picking or turkey slicing? Don't know what that is. You guys are making me laugh. Boom, platinum. That was John Mayer featuring Nicole from Charlotte, North Carolina, with a 3-syllable second verse from Nicole. A lot of laughing. What song is he most proud of? I'm most proud of Stop This Train. I'm most proud of Gravity for its efficiency. What is your advice on writing real and raw songs, not being scared of sharing your pain? Not scared of sharing my pain. I just naturally share stuff. And some people don't like it. Some people do like it. I attract the same people as me. I attract people who naturally share stuff. I don't find myself attracted to people who have a lot of self-imposed like rules, or feel like they live inside of a framework of like, that's weird. That was weird. Like, whatever. Like, I cut all those people out of my life. Don't let people tell you you're weird anymore. Like, unless you're wearing a necklace made of animal teeth that you yourself procured, just don't let other people tell you you're weird. Don't tolerate it. That's my advice for the night. People don't tell me I'm weird anymore, and if they did, I just wouldn't be their friend. Or I'd be like, can you please clarify what that means? And you'll find that 99 out of 100 times, people will come to admit that they actually didn't know what they meant when they called you weird. They just didn't know what to say. Trust me, that's true. I won't let people call me weird. Don't let people call you weirdo. It's so lazy for them. Without them having to do any work at all, they paint you as being strange and different without having to go through any of the work to explain why. Weird is you could paraphrase a really important phrase and say, smart motherfuckers look like weird motherfuckers to dumb motherfuckers. I don't know. Yeah, but don't let people call you weird. If you intellectually square up with somebody and you go, well, what do you mean by that? You'll find that like most of the time people just didn't know what to say, and they themselves were nervous and wanted to offload it and were condescending and taking a dig at you, and you just go, and they'll say like, I actually don't know what I meant. So sorry about that. Get to the bottom of people's weird, weird shaming. Yes, you can call me handsome. That's very kind of you. Have I ever been in an existential crisis? Great question. That's a Sunday night question. Have I ever been in an existential crisis? Yeah. When I was 22, sort of coming online with being an adult, I went through a period of years where everything got tested. Every nuance of every system in life got tested. What if I freaked out here? Like, I don't think you're 22 if you don't open up like a utensil drawer and be like, I could stab myself with all these knives, and how am I not? So my existential crisis was really like, leaving home and just looking at everything as an option, and the options just becoming really frightening, and being like, oh, I could stab myself. Why? How am I not driving off the road right now? How am I not, freaking out over this or that or that? You're just pushing all the buttons. You're just testing all of it out. That was my existential crisis because it made me crazy. Not permanently, but I got so anxious over time. I just made myself so upset. Stabbing with a spoon would be difficult, but listen, if someone stabbed themselves with a spoon and went all the way with it, I don't know. There's something determined about it, but I shouldn't say that. But stabbed himself with a spoon? Really, really want it out. Do I think inspiration should go with socialization? Kind of I'm looking for that meeting people at all. Oh, I don't think so. You have to socialize, I think. I mean, it's a fantasy, of being a reclusive genius, but remember, all those geniuses became recluses after they were outside in the world and then went in. Although I do want to hear music by a boy who was raised by wolves. Do I compare myself to others a lot? Not really. But I get it now. Like, I get my relationship with all things now. I get it. How am I? I'm really good, thank you. What do I think of singing in another language? I think it's muy bien. You like that? Thank you. Am I touring? No, just touring with the Dead and Company. I try to say Dead and Company as much as I can. As some of you know, I slip up sometimes and say The Dead. You guys can say The Dead, but I enjoy saying Dead and Company because I want to be ultimately representative of what's what. Would I ever do a Jeff Buckley cover? I have before. And I love those songs, and I'm sorry he's not here to sing more. Last movie I saw, good question. Oh, I saw Jumanji, and I loved it. Yeah. What's up, Noah? Noah Sharf. Awesome artist. Check him out. Noah Sharf. Tim Buckley. I knew that was Jeff Buckley's dad, and he was a folk singer, but I never really heard really like song by song any of the music. Sean's new stuff is really, 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 really good. I don't watch horror movies, but A Quiet Place is the first ostensibly horror movie that I've wanted to see maybe ever. No, I watched the new Jumanji. The first one, I just remember kind of it always being on TBS or whatever, and like trying to key in and understand it, but I couldn't. So that's why I like the newer one. One of the reasons I like the new ones, because I didn't have anything to compare it to. Any new material album in the works? Remember I put up an Instagram post on New Year's Eve, and I was like, I'm just going to do my thing for a little while. I'm just having an existential crisis. No, I'm not. It's my gap year. I'm just taking it week by week. All right. Let's go a little deeper with these questions. Oh, this is the best live stream you've ever seen? That's cool. I will do the right thing for myself and appreciate the compliment and not question how many live streams that you have seen, so that I can build a metric as to how much stake there is in what you're saying. I love Stir Fry by Amigos, and you know that. That's why you're asking me what I think about Stir Fry by Amigos. I friggin' love it. There's a part in the song that goes, and I was like, it's genius. It's like, you got to sit around and be like, oh, you know what this part of the song needs? And then like everyone's like, you're crazy. And you're like, am I? Brr, 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 brr. And everybody goes, oh shit. Yeah, that song is nice. You suffer from anxiety, best tool to fight it or overcome it? All right, now we're getting real. The best tool to fight anxiety is other people telling you they have it too. The best tool to fight anxiety is to realize everybody does, but they're too afraid to talk about it. In my pocket is a Xanax, where it always is. And I know we hear a lot of these drug names when they're, stories about people abusing it. All my Xanax gets crushed up in the laundry. And I speak for a lot of people right now. There's 4,492 people on this stream. And I would say out of the 4,400 people, 150 to 200 of them, if not more, have Xanax in their pockets, hardly ever take it, but know that if they have an anxiety moment, that they take it. Everybody feels it. Everybody feels it. And some people feel it in a way that's irrational and sends their body into fight or flight, and it fucking sucks. But that part of it doesn't last as long as the comet tail of shame and accountability and feeling like you slipped up, you let it happen. And that stuff breeds from like isolation and feeling like you're the only person that it happens to. You can't out anxiety me. How about that? You can't out anxiety me. I had all the freakouts that you haven't even thought of yet. Every concept that could possibly frighten a person, I already had them. So part of anxiety comes from the feeling that you're being stalked by it. It's found me. Here I am on a Sunday, and I just want to relax, and it's found me. Me too. And that's where it kind of gets its power from. But me too. All the time. Not all the time, but I consider it all the time. And things are done. Like it's like you find the way to work that it's not a bad neighborhood. You find your ways to get through. It's totally manageable. Like there's like at the end of A Beautiful Mind, and John Nash says, like a diet of the mind, I choose to deny myself certain indulgences. Because they were like, do you still see like other people right now? And he's like, yup. And they're like, how do you get by with that? And he's like a diet of the mind, I choose not to give in to certain indulgences. So that's what helps with anxiety is someone else going like describing your situation to you, and you'll be like, oh my God, yes, I do that. I do poop uncontrollably. Yes, I do all of a sudden feel like the lights go dimmer. And yes, I do all of a sudden feel like yeah, now have it. Now go have it, knowing that like the rest of everyone sitting here has it too, But when you think that you're the only person who it found, it's fucking scary, man. It's fucking scary. But you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. Because at some point, you will have freaked out about everything there is to freak out about. And you'll be like, oh, this is that one. Like you could just give it a confirmation. Oh, this is file number 416-A. This is the one where I tell myself that I could go crazy and all of a sudden everything in the room would become sentient and try to kill me. Had it. Didn't happen. I need to do a TED Talk. Thank you. Hell of a long time for TED to be around. To feel like doing a TED Talk would be prestigious. A lot of TED Talks. I would have wanted to be like one of the first, 1,000 TED Talks. But I feel like there's a line in the sand between when you got asked to do a TED Talk. And if you got asked to do a TED Talk after the TED Talk with the guy who teaches you how to tie your shoes, a little bit of a different TED Talk. We call this a cameo. Didn't know this was happening. Yogurt. Where'd that come from? My favorite Coltrane song is Central Park West. Because it's the most sensitive Coltrane track. I mean, Naima is pretty sensitive, but Central Park West is more sensitive, and he just had a different dynamic than most jazz players. So when he was super sensitive is when I dug it. I'm looking. I'm looking. Whoever did the first TED Talk is a funky duck. That is true. There was a time where someone was like, okay, thanks for coming to do this thing called TED. It's an idea that I have. Anyway, there's a crowd out there. Here's your clicker. Here's your headset. Go for it. Like, that dude walked out and went, this is no big deal. That guy's a baller. War My Life Anxiety song? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. Not all of it, I don't feel like. Yeah, maybe it was. When I think about, like, how does it go? Come out angels, come out ghosts, come out... I don't remember that song. Everyone... I don't remember. I think I mentioned having a pill in my pocket in that song. I've never been to Burning Man. Never been to Burning Man. Do I read books? I sometimes read books, but they take a long time to get through because I fall asleep. Or I'll just be scanning and realize that my brain dislodged from the lines on the book, and I'm just now having my own thoughts, and I don't know what I'm looking at. What are your thoughts on the fact that we live in an era where social media allows anyone to voice their opinions and socially racialization maker is a good thing or a bad thing? It's neither. It's neither. It is fact. It is reality. It is the play out of all the technology given to people, multiplied by a certain social evolution, multiplied by, technological evolution. It is fate. And I'm a fatalist. And I look at stuff and I go, let it play. Let it play out. Let it figure itself out. Let this virus, let the healthy blood cells kill the unhealthy bloods, the viral cells, and this. Well, you have to start from. You have to work backwards from human beings are worth continuing with. Like, human life is worth continuing with. And if you think that, then you think that there is something inside of human beings that is more than 51% good. And then if you do that, you realize that people right now are expressing themselves in a way that has just been handed to them. If you look at, the bigger picture of the last 30, 40 years, it's just been handed to them, this ability to publish. And you've equalized now the height of a soapbox. You've equalized the height of a podium, and you've equalized the sound level of a speaker, and that's going to take a minute for humanity to do it, process it, figure it out, and then look back maybe over 10 years, and go, what did this get us? What did this get me? How much of this was more than I needed? I'm 40 now, and I look at people who are in their mid-20s, and I go, like, I just hope they're going to remember enjoying any of it, and so it's an experiment, and we'll look back and go, how much of that worked? Now, I think that some of it will work. Now, remember when the telephone came out, there were party lines, and there were like hotlines you would call, and you used to call to find out what time it was on the phone, which is crazy. Imagine picking up your iPhone and placing a phone call to find out what time it was. And you would call to hear a joke for the day. And all this stuff you could do with the phone when the phone became really ubiquitous. And then after a while, you don't even use the phone anymore. And if someone uses the phone for anything other than the most pragmatic use, you're like, what are you doing on the phone right now? And I think that I don't blame people. I don't blame all people at once. I just go, there has to be a reason that all this is happening, given where they are psychologically, where they are technologically, where they are culturally. And you go, we'll look back and go, some of that worked and some of that really didn't. And we'll be better for it. But like I said, if you're 24 and you're 26, I have a little more perspective, and I see a lot of people losing happiness when they don't need to. And I don't want people to look back once they're 38, 37 or whatever, and they go, wow, when I was 24, I was really spent a lot of time not enjoying myself on the basic level, and I spent a lot of time being upset. But some of that upset's really instrumental. So, I heard this line one time where this guy talked about advertising for his company, and he said, only half of my advertisements are worth it, but I don't know which half. And it's the holds here. You go, only half of this stuff is going to be worthwhile, but we don't know which half. So that's what I say. No, I say, let it play, let all of it play, let it figure itself out, and, you know. The only thing that age has, only thing, is that age has a certain understanding of time that you just couldn't have if you were young. Like, you can never have a young phenomenon who understands time. Ain't gonna happen. Not possible. Oh, was it David Ogilvy coined that as a phrase? Okay. Of Ogilvy and Mather then. Once he met Mather. I don't have good advice on choosing a good producer for myself because I kind of work on my stuff, most of my stuff myself. How do you learn to ignore the negatives to enjoy your mid-20s? I didn't. Nope. I just choose to forget the negatives now. So I didn't ignore them, but I can forget them. And you can always kind of enjoy what your 20s were. And it's kind of there. You can feel it. Like you can go back in time and take out the stuff that you didn't like if you figured yourself out. Then you can retroactively go back and go, well, I'm not going to think about those things. I'm just going to think about the groovy stuff. And so that's... Gave up the high shoes. Gave them up. What was better, 20s or 30s? That's a friggin' great question. 20s. 20s are better. But 30s got me to 40s, and now 40s is a blast. I'm alone in a hotel room. I'm 40 years old. Here, let me show you my kids. Look at them. Look at my kids. Look at my kids in front of the fireplace. Such a well-rounded life. All right. My kids, I gotta put my kids to bed. Thank you. My children are very beautiful. Of course I want kids. Well, I say of course I want kids, but you might not know that, so I should say, yeah, I want kids. And yes, there's a silver sky in there. Of course, do I ever wish I would settle down and start a family? I have that in mind. That might be part of the reason I'm not so eager to jump on the road right now and buying a house and, retire. I think you can retire from certain things in your life. You don't have to retire from all of it. I'm not retiring from the road. I'm just retiring from certain things. Greets from Poland. Greets. Is Silver Sky really just a Strat with a PRS headstock? Like I said, go get a Strat, Photoshop a PRS headstock on it, and tell me if you want to play it. The world needs some little mares running around. You don't want some mares. Mares are not going to be running around my house with all the guitars. They might knock them over. There'll be no running in my house. Thank you very much. I was working with Post. He's friggin' great. He's great. Funny individual. Would I have kids without marriage? I like how I read questions out loud, and then by reading them out loud, I was like, oh, I guess I have to answer that one. Really should have read that one quietly and then thought whether or not I wanted to answer it. It's not ideal, but if I met someone who was too smart for marriage, I could dig it. You know what I mean? Would I ever consider becoming a mayor? Yeah, when I was 4 and I learned what my last name meant. Never thought about it again. Gotta let you know, never thought about it again. Can I be the mom of your kids? Well, since you asked nicely, detail working with Frank Ocean. I just listened to Pyramids again today. I listened to it twice in a row. It's genius. Genius. Everyone's trying to write Pyramids. Everybody wants to write like Frank. Would I trade having a family for my current success? Great question. Yes. If by current success you mean this particular texture, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. How do I deal with anxiety? You just missed it. You just missed it. Producing or writing, which do I prefer? I prefer producing. Because writing is a full contact sport for the writer. And producing, your brain is kept really pure because you're not making the writing decisions. You can hear what the writer's trying to do, and just like production for me is so much easier because, but I also respect the writer because I know how tough it is. So it's like when you're producing, you're outside of the hole and you're holding onto the rope. And when you're writing, you're down in the hole. And it's not super fun. There you go, Kendall Schmidt. Kendall Schmidt, I don't know if you're a boy or a girl, but you sound beautiful. If somebody told me, hey, John, there's someone who really wants to meet you. And I was like, oh, who? They're like, someone named Kendall Schmidt. I would be like, yes. Larry Fisherman, do I play? Thanks, Larry Fisherman, who happens to have a verified sign next to his name. Did I happen to play guitar on the new Mac Miller record? Yes, I did. Funny you should ask. Yes, I did play guitar on the new Mac Miller record. And the song is so good that as I was playing it, my neck was sore for a day because I was bopping so hard. So thanks, Larry Fisherman, whoever you are. Song I wish was more well known. I wish everybody knew Trouble by Ray LaMontagne. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. That song everybody should know. As many people as know, Don't Know Why by Norah Jones should know Trouble. And maybe they do by now, but I always thought that song was... It's the only time in my life that I almost thought, like, can he put it on a second record again? There was, like, I wish I was, like, In the Blood. Like, can I put In the Blood on my next record again? You should be able to re-rack a song if you think it was better than people thought at the moment and be like, give me another shot. That would be so cool if you were allowed to put, an old track on the next record being like, let's try that again, everybody, because that shit was great, and you missed it. You dang missed it. Classic Don't Know Why melody it was the Grammys. Switched into an orange shirt, I believe. The Grammys was really funny because I speak in metaphor and I don't necessarily set up my metaphor, so I go straight into the abstract part of the metaphor. And in front of the world, it's like 2003 or whatever, early 2002. I don't remember what it was. I think it was early 2003. And I get the Grammy for Wonderland, and I'm up there, and I'm like, this is an amazing moment. I was like, I'm a 16-year-old boy in this moment. And to me, it was like, oh, this is just a metaphor. And everybody thought that I was 16. So that the next day, everyone was like, and you're just 16. I was like, no, I'm like 23. But I do feel like that's what contributes to people thinking that I'm still like in my early 30s, which I'm not. Special appearance by Yogurt. Could I make it look... Okay. What if I was alone, but I wanted someone I was FaceTiming with to think that I had someone with me? Could I... Hold on a second. Could I give myself yogurt to make it look like someone else was doing it? Do you guys think that I can effectively make it look like I'm like a woman, like a different person is feeding me yogurt? Guys, I'm just hanging out right now. I'm like, stop it. Stop. She's great. How did I do? How did I do with my invisible girlfriend, Yogurt Pass? All right. Be careful with me. My heart is like a package with a fragile legend on it. I would have respect for someone who tried to do that. She seems like a gem. By the way, Kendall Schmidt, if someone was like, by the way, Kendall Schmidt's a guy, I'd be like, let me see a picture. Oh, wait, can I get some water? Thank you. You're the best. If someone was like, their name is Kendall Schmidt, I'd be like, I like set it up. They'd be like, it's a guy. I'd be like, what did he look like? Just like, what was I in for? I'd be like, Kendall Schmidt. Kendall Schmidt. Hey, you know how you know you're at a bad strip club? Is when the announcer says, anyone to the main stage. Anyone. Oh, man. I wrote that joke the other night. Anyone to the shower stage. Anybody. Advice for someone wanting tattoos? I don't want to wreck my body. Well, it seems like you kind of stated your case pretty well there. Don't do it. Because my take is if you don't have any tattoos as of now, don't get any. If you do have tattoos, like, tat it up, fuckers. But if you don't by now, like, don't do it. Because it's more interesting now when someone has unfettered skin. Hello. Good advice on tats. Get a good tat. And I just don't like calling them tats, but I used your nomenclature. Lily Grubb, 16 tattoos and counting. Do you count past a certain number of tattoos? I don't know that I have counted how many tattoos I have. When you're up to 16, 16 and counting. I would have stopped counting at like 6 tattoos. Okay, here's a question for you. And I want real answers. If you never had legs and you were given legs, like at your current age right now, like you now have legs, how long before you stop doing this? And just like everywhere you were going, you were just like, and people would be like, why is he moving like that? And someone else would say to them, that's the boy who just got new legs. And you would just be, and they'd be like, oh, totally get it. How long until you stopped doing it and you were complaining about like the price of pants? Well, Live for Live Music, you probably do dance like that all the time. I hope I would never stop doing that. But I know that at some point I would forget. See, okay, 35 hours is 2 months, probably 6. So I feel like the lower the number is, the more honest you are with yourself. Because I think it's like 2 months. I do think it's 2 months. I think after 2 months, you're complaining about something, and someone is like, but you just got new legs. And you're like, fuck the new legs. Why isn't she calling me back? But at the end of all this, the moral of the story is, even if you've always had legs, don't forget to just celebrate legs. Celebrate legs. Celebrate. Celebrate legs. Celebrate legs. Celebrate legs. Celebrate legs. All right. Well, this is about as long as I can go before I stop tolerating myself. Do I know how to dance well? I know how to dance enthusiastically and confidently and with spirit. So I say yes. I dance in a way you wouldn't stop me. I dance in a way you wouldn't question. I dance in a way you say to yourself, I got no business telling that guy how to live. That's what I do. Yeah, you watch me dance, you go, I had no business telling him how to be. All right. You know you've been on too long when everyone else says, like, this has been a great feed, I'm off to bed. I did not make my own choreography for Still Feel Like Your Man. A really cool choreographer did it. Listen, we tired each other out. That's what we were doing this for. Send you all my love. Have a wonderful week. Go to bed happy. And by the way, I don't want to give it away yet. Talk to you later. I was going to say what YouTube videos to go watch, because I found a new someone put me onto a brand new category of YouTube videos, but I'm not done watching them, and I just want it for me for right now, but I'll tell you about it later. But it's incredible. It's an incredible new category of YouTube videos I figured out.